Hey Virgo, welcome back. Welcome to your March 2023 general reading. Thanks to everyone who has watched my videos so far, and to those of you that have subscribed, I really appreciate it. Hope everybody's doing well out there in Virgo land. Let's see what we've got coming out for you. Okay, some of you are some of you have a lot of anxiety around a romantic situation. Excuse me. Some of you are really in your head about this. I think you don't want to be taken for a fool. I think you don't want to be, a victim of, I want to say like a victim of your past. You've got a fire sign masculine here, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And there just seems to be a lot of anxiety around this person. It could be real or imagined. I'm getting more of like, it's more of something that's in your head that you're worried about, that you're like afraid of not being able to see the situation clearly. You're afraid of not being able to, some of you are afraid of being like suffocated or trapped. Some of you are afraid of looking foolish. Some of you are holding back your feelings. Some of you aren't talking about your feelings in this relationship. That might be causing a problem for you. And for some of you, you're like icing someone out, or you're like taking a step back from someone is causing this person to be tormented in some way. Like somebody here doesn't want to take a risk. Somebody here is deliberately not like letting themselves go, like letting themselves be free. Someone's deliberately like staying closed off and deliberately staying like, in a fortress. So it's either because you are afraid of being hurt by this person, or like I said, they're freaking out because of because you're not communicating, or you're not making a move towards them right now. You also have water sign masculine here. So somebody here is really in love with someone else. Somebody here feels like that, and I'm going to say there's like a masculine energy that is looking towards a feminine energy. I also have an air sign here, an air sign female perhaps, so maybe you have some air in your chart, but there's a masculine energy that feels like, it could be that it feels like that you're being really cold and, sort of in your mind being too intellectual as opposed to emotional. But they feel like this female energy is like their end all be all, like this is the person that they want to grow old with, that they want to build a legacy with, that they want to, have stability and security with, that this that this person has it all. Like this is literally what they've dreamed for, what they've wished for. But there's a lot of, like I said, either you are deliberately doing this or it's just the energy of the situation, but there's just a lot of waiting. There's a lot of waiting here. There's a lot of, having to be patient for something. Some of you may have a child. I see a daughter involved here. For some of you, it's a situation of like not wanting to get hurt or not wanting to, not wanting to affect something for the sake of your kids, like waiting, being patient, holding out because you have a solidarity of purpose when it comes to, a child or children, that like your priority is in like helping your children in some way, helping your child in some way. And that could be why some of you feel like you want to be very careful in this situation. Let's see what else we can get here. Yeah, some of you, have had a lot of pain in the past around relationships. And it's blocking you, it's stopping you from moving forward faithfully, like in full faith that you can have real happiness. Some of you feel like even, you can't trust your path. Like even if you're trusting your path, there's somebody there, or there's some sabotage that's going to happen when it comes to relationships. And it just makes you afraid. Makes you afraid of, of moving forward in some way, of moving towards what is real happiness. Like there's a lot of fear around like losing your balance, like a lot of fear around like walking a tight rope that you could slip off of. Some of you are really afraid of being cheated on. But I see that, I see a masculine that's in love, and I see a feminine that's in love. Like I see love here. I see that you're, there's a heavy emphasis on you being on the right path, but just not trusting in it. Like it's kind of like I've got to look out for myself. That's kind of the energy that is coming through here. Like I need to look out for myself. I don't want to get hurt in love again. And I don't know if I can, make this journey towards, towards, what would be most fulfilling. But you've got the 10 of Pentacles, you've got the 10 of Cups here, you've got the Star here twice. So your destiny is in, security, fulfillment, love, abundance. Like that's your destiny. So you need to maybe get out of your head a little bit here and maybe not hold back this communication or not hold back talking about how you feel. That's another thing that's saying here is you're not talking about how you feel. And there's just a lot of fear surrounding, an individual, and whether it's fear coming from them because of how you're handling things, or if you just have fear. But I don't see this person as being, have any intentions towards you other than they feel like, you're being a little bit maybe too cold or too analytical or too rational about, the whole situation. But all the while, like you're exactly what they want. And I said, for some of you, it's wanting to, make sure that your children are a priority here. Okay, see what else we can get. Yeah, you're being stubborn because you're afraid. Yeah, there's a lot of fear here. You are being stubborn because you're just afraid of betrayal. It might be something that you even like obsess on a little bit. You want to have some measure of control over things, and you maybe you feel like I don't know how to say it. Like you can't, you can't control it. You have to have faith sometimes. And I see, I see a little bit of faith here, but mostly I see a not wanting to be manipulated, not wanting to be betrayed, not wanting to, just being completely like obstinate and stubborn because you want to avoid any kind of disasters, but that's like no way to live. You're gonna have to make a move at some point. Yeah, there's too much energy. There's too much, Queen of Swords energy here. And I do feel like that's you. There could possibly be, you'll know your situation. If there's another woman, that you're worried about, some of you are worried about another woman. Some of you are worried about maybe an air sign female. And if you're not, only if that resonates with your situation. If you're not, it's you're overthinking this. You're using too much intellect, too much like I will, cut you before you cut me. Yeah, some of you are definitely mothers here. And some of you, like I said, you just need to have a little more confidence in yourself. You need to have a little more faith in your feminine abilities. You need to connect a little bit more with your feminine side. Some of you maybe, some of you could be experimenting with psychedelics to try to gain a new perspective on things. It's not for everybody. It's just what I see here. But there's also, for those of you that aren't, it's like you definitely are trying to, to look at things from a different angle and not be delusional about it. But there's just so much fear here. There's so much fear of betrayal. There's so much fear of, pain and manipulation, that it's, for some of you, you genuinely are delusional about this. Like your fear is causing you to be delusional. Or somebody here is. Let's see if we can get any more out of this deck. Yeah, but there's a masculine energy here that's stable. They're loving, they definitely, like I said, seem to be in love with you. And you could be, like I said, sabotaging yourself. Like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't, stop overthinking this, stop, trying to avoid some disaster. Those kinds of things are going to happen in life. We can't just stop living or try to, there's no absolute assurance that we're never going to get hurt. And you need to start taking action. You need to start doing instead of thinking. Maybe release some of this like pent up. Yeah, you need to move more towards faith and away from fear. Yeah, some of you are just burdening yourselves. You're burdening yourselves with worry when what you really have here is you have a commitment. Some of you do, or you have the opportunity to, or you have someone here who is interested in that. Some of you feel like, a relationship or a commitment is just a burden, and you don't want that. Yeah, some of you, there's talk of marriage. I think that also there's an element to like, I think there's people in your life that encourage you, or you're being encouraged to maybe talk about these things with other people in your life for encouragement. If you're keeping things to yourself, if you're not speaking about how you feel, if you're just staying in your head, we don't have all the answers in our head. We just stew in like our problems, trying to find the solution with our own faculties that we don't have. So you may need to, reach out to other people, to talk with other people who might have some more experience than you, or some more like, I was gonna say insight, but it's not what I meant, is that some people who have more knowledge, than you do, that can help encourage you in this situation. It's kind of like this feeling of like going back and forth of like, like I do believe, like I know, like I'm gonna have faith, and then like falling into this like overwhelming feeling, at the thought of a commitment, at the thought of things going bad, and maybe you already do talk to a lot of people about it, but listen to them. You're being encouraged to listen to people who are encouraging you, because you do have a lot more mastery over things than you think that you do. You do have a lot more skills, than you think you do. Yeah, you've got way more strength, way more skills than you're giving yourself credit for. So just to recap here, Virgo, like I said, it's an energy of not talking about your feelings, holding back from your feelings, staying in isolation, keeping yourself in like a shell of protection, having to do, with a relationship, and not wanting to look foolish, not wanting to, not wanting to be taken for a fool. And it's in your head. It exists in your head. You are holding yourself back. You're like a fortress for that. And it's either because you have too much fear around this person, or what you're doing is like creating fear within them. And it's a vicious cycle, but there's a masculine energy here that looks towards, you, or female energy, or, you know what I mean? However this fits in your life, as the ultimate success, as the ultimate, it literally wish fulfillment. You have the star here, you have the Nine of Cups. I don't always interpret the Nine of Cups that way, but in this situation I do. And you just may be being a little too cold. This person thinks you're smart. They think you're capable of, being super successful, and you're like their dream girl. You're their wish fulfillment. Um, and there's, for some of you, there's a good reason why you're like this, because you have children, or you have somebody you're responsible to. Some of you, it may not be this fear of like betrayal. For some of you, it definitely is. For others of you, you may be working on something else right now. You may be trying to learn about something. Some of you may be in school, or you're more focused on socializing and maybe like volunteering things that you do. Some of you, there's an element of holding back because you're not sure you're ready to give up some of these other things that are important in your life. For some of you, it's children that you are, really committed to, and to helping, being of service and of help to your child is an important thing. But there is, again, a feeling of like being completely stubborn and obstinate, because of fear of being manipulated, fear of being betrayed, fear of being held hostage to something. And it's, for some of you, there's somebody in the past, or there's another female energy, it could be an air sign, that has affected this situation. Or you're just, like I said, you're overthinking, you're being too intellectual, you're being too cutthroat, you're being too, you're too in a warrior mindset, and you need to soften up a little bit. You need to tap into that feminine energy. Some of you, like I said, are doing things, taking steps to see things from a different perspective. You might be experimenting, with psychedelics. Some of you may be getting over an addiction. I do see that here. There may be some addiction aspect to this that you might be struggling with, that has a play in all of this. Only you know that. But there's just a massive amount of fear. And again, this masculine's coming up as, somebody who's stable, somebody who, has, they have good financial standing. They're good, they're solid. So like I said, either you're creating fear in them, or you just have fear over them. But you have to stop, going to extremes. There's like an extreme here of like, I have faith, I trust, I believe, and then I'm freaked out and afraid, and I can't, no, I can't do this. It's overwhelming you. The situation's overwhelming you, trying to figure out this commitment, whether you want to make it or whether it's a real thing or whatever it is. And for you, the advice is to, maybe talk to somebody else. For some of you, if you're, religious minded, or you have a religion that you have a faith, talk to somebody within that faith. Talk to a spiritual advisor, talk to somebody who knows more than you, unload these burdens, get it out of your head. Because there's people out there that want to encourage you. They want to encourage you if you'll speak up about it. And you have so much more power than you think you do. That you can, manifest this in whatever direction, for good or bad. But your strength is, it's enough. It's enough. So anyway, thanks for watching, Virgo. I really appreciate everybody who's subscribed so far, and everyone who's watched my channel. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks.